Hey all, welcome to the first episode of the Ryan Morris podcast. Uh, it's a solo podcast. It's a monologue. I've been wanting to do this for a while, more so just as a cathartic exercise to express my thoughts, what I think, and also to document the conversations I have with friends and peers, because I think I have some very valuable conversations with them. So, the first episode, as I said earlier, is just a discussion between me and myself, thinking out loud, getting my thoughts out there in the world, maybe being shocked by my thoughts, being scared, ashamed, I don't know, seeing how I feel about them. Because you definitely take a different perspective once you vocalize them and are able to look at them from a different viewpoint. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about was the life of an idea. And I remember I was reading Stoplights or Green Lights. It was Matthew McConaughey's memoir. It's a really good book. Um, he has a way of words that, or a way with words that I really like, and it's really digestible how he communicates his thoughts. But he was talking about when you have an idea, it's in its most pure and organic form in your mind. And in each stage of the life of an idea, so when it goes from an idea to you're adding words. So let's say the idea is like throwing a football, like a dad and his son throwing a football, and you have that image, that idea. It's kind of wordless. I mean, maybe you have some words like ball, dad, whatnot. But then you have to communicate that to somebody. So you're like, yeah, I was having a dream about a dad throwing a football with his kid, and it was like a Saturday morning, and it was in the fall, and maybe it was before a football game they were going to. And so during that transition from idea to idea, almost like with words, you're losing a little bit of the authentic nature of it. Then you have to turn it into writing. So when you're turning into writing, you're losing intonation, facial expression, tone, a lot of different things. And so you're losing that as well. And then from writing, I don't know what the next stage of the cycle is, but you get it. And so there's trade offs every time you move an idea on in its life cycle, and maybe the next stage is somebody else communicating the idea. So it's not the original idea creator, it's somebody who heard it from somebody else. And then it becomes a game of telephone. And slowly, over the course of minutes to years, that idea isn't the original form. Maybe you can extrapolate this to like think about the Bible. I don't know. Um, I'm just throwing that out there, that possibility. I feel like with all like the apostles, over the years, the original principles of Jesus may have, you know, swayed far away from what it actually was. Um, so, um, but yeah. So that was just something that was super interesting to me because for me, I have difficulty communicating my thoughts and ideas. When I communicate something that isn't what I think, it's extremely frustrating. For instance, I'm telling a friend about how I feel about something, and they don't get it, not because they're not capable, but because I can't accurately convey what I'm feeling, because some of these emotions, I'm not even sure if they have words. I mean, in the English language, there's a lot of words, but the cool thing about learning and speaking another language is you realize those languages have words for ideas that exist amongst all humans, but don't have words in certain languages like English. Like I think in German, it's like that's a language that has like a bunch of words that describe very unique circumstances of like for instance hangry. I'm not sure there's a I'm sure there's languages that don't have that word, but it describes a particular experience for humans when you're hungry, and consequently you become a worse person. You're angrier. So I thought that was interesting. Um, and so that's something that I like to noodle around with a lot. Um, but yeah, I mean, so ideas and abstractions are super interesting to me. I think I could speak all day about them and with people who are just as passionate about it as I am. Been growing out the beard. I haven't trimmed it yet. I gotta trim the upper lip, but it's pretty good. Don't you? I've been getting a lot of compliments on it, and I really like that. Um, I mean, you don't really get compliments for like a cleanly shaven face, so it's kind of nice that I'm getting that, and I think I'm gonna start taking it more seriously and trimming it up. I think it's getting a little bit scruffy, and I wanna curtail it a little bit. Maybe clean up the upper lip. The neck looks pretty good. Yeah. Makes me look older, which I guess I like. Uh, when I was in Argentina, I didn't have a beard. I was cleanly shaven, and they thought I was 30. I was like 23 then. It was like a year ago. Oh, sorry, I just hit my funny bone on the chair. Um, so it's not like I need to look any older because I think people think I'm much older than I am. I'm not getting ID'd though, so it's convenient at bars. Not like that was an issue to begin with, but as somebody who like doesn't always carry his ID with them, like that is kind of helpful though. In certain circumstances. Sorry, I'm still like feeling the effects of hitting my funny bone against the chair. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's difficult to have a conversation with yourself. I'm realizing right now. I'm 8 minutes 20 seconds in, and I'm like running out of material. Material. All I had was talk about the life of an idea. So I'm not sure how long I'll make this. I think it'll be a lot better once I have guests. I'm hoping I have guests. It's hard to get people for like an hour. It's hard to get people for 30 minutes. And a lot of people have free time, but if you get somebody for 30 minutes, then you have to get them for 20 minutes before to, I don't know, prepare, just like set up the microphone, and then you're most likely going to have a little bit of a conversation after. So you're looking at like over an hour. And then once you take that much time, then it's like, okay, now I don't know if they'll have time. But I'm hoping to improve the technology. I'm gonna get a real microphone. I'm using my Sesh Evo, uh, like Bluetooth headphones. It's better call them AirPods. They're not AirPods, but I always call them AirPods. I feel like it's the frisbee Q-tip effect where you just call something, a product for the brand that dominates that that product industry market type thing. So, but yeah, I'm hoping to improve the quality of this and make it more digestible for somebody to spend their free time to turn me on in the background. Because me and my friend Nick in high school, as you'll probably see in the history of this account, ran a sports journalism show called The Sports Market. We basically just had fun during lunch. I really liked it. I was incredibly awkward. It's difficult to be in front of camera. That's what they don't teach you. It's very awkward to look into a camera and like talk to it. It's a very averse feeling I have. Uh, it's not natural for me to do that. And right now, I'm looking at my picture, the feedback in the camera, and I'm just looking at my eyes. I'm not looking at the actual lens. I'm looking at the screen that's showing me, and I'm just looking at myself in the eyes, which is weird. I don't look at myself this long usually. Usually it's a 5 second, uh, you know, instance in front of the mirror. That's something I'm trying to do a better job of, is instead of saying during the breaks of my speech when I'm trying to think of a word, just not saying anything. But genuinely, I do struggle with word retrieval. It's been happening since I started learning Spanish like 4 years ago. I can say it sucks, but in that instance, the word instance, like a minute ago when I was trying to find it, just totally was hiding from me in my brain. And so I think, I don't know if I can improve upon it. Maybe it'll just get worse with time or age. It's frustrating. Because, like, I'm not sure the person I'm talking to thinks that, like, oh, I'm trying to find a word. Maybe they're just like, oh, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. And for me, that's a little, like, annoying. It's like, okay, bro, I know what I'm talking about. Come at me. So, no, don't come at me. I'm an extremely non-violent person. If, like, you were summoned by God in, like, purgatory to, like, fight somebody, and, like, if you beat them, you'll save your life, you'd want to fight me, because you'd have a great shot at beating me. Like I said, I'm pretty fierce. Like, I'm physically, like, not weak or feeble, but, like, I'm just not a fighter. Like, I don't like hurting people. But there is, like, a very primitive part of me that, and it's the competitor in me. If you challenge me or cross me in some way, there is, like, a fury that's catalyzed in me. And then I'm like a monster. So don't trigger that. Let me I don't know why I'm saying this. Uh, but yeah. So, oh my god, I can't believe I'm talking. I decided I'm gonna make this 20 minutes long. I'm gonna send this to my friends. Just ask them to watch it and see what they think about it. I just think it's hilarious that I'm doing this. And I know as a house, we've been talking about it for some time. Having a house podcast. I live with three other guys, Justin, Omrit, and Bryce. And all three of those guys are extremely cerebral, empathetic, smart, deep thinkers, people you'd love to talk to in any situation, but especially the medium of a podcast, I think, our conversations would translate really well too. So, yeah, hoping to continue this. Damn, it's more of like a closing statement. So we'll probably get back to that in, 5 minutes when closing up shop. But, yeah, I mean, it's a Wednesday midday. I don't know. There's not much to talk about. I'm a little bit hungry right now. Okay, yeah, I'm going through that mental deliberation of, do I wait another